Cempasuchil. Cempasuchil. Yes, good afternoon. I've just stolen another one of my brother's fragrances, and I can't wait to give this one a bit more of a review. I've reviewed it downstairs on the home treadmill before, but I wanted to do it on a walk today because this is a fragrance that really intrigued me. I annoyingly missed it. It was on the Lush sale, and I decided not to get it. And the time I then thought I will get it, actually, it had gone off it. But I believe it's pronounced Cempasuchil, and essentially it's marigold, I believe. So yeah, fruity notes of marigolds, while butyral adds a refreshing juiciness. Essentially, this is like a fruity type fragrance, and marigold, obviously, the Cempasúchil is the main thing, the main selling point of this fragrance. But there's quite a lot going on in it. It talks about sparkling grapefruit and a juicy bergamot hug. So we're talking about a nice fruity summer type scent today. And yeah, I can't wait to take it on my walk. I've got to go to my nan's to pick up something. So yeah, I thought I'd do this today. If you haven't seen my sort of fitness fragrance reviews before, essentially we rate fragrances on 5 categories. We'll look at its price / value for money, its versatility, we'll look at its projection, how much I notice it during my walk. We'll also look at its compliment factors. Do I think it's a compliment getting fragrance? And longevity, where normally I'd obviously do work out at the gym, but we'll just see when I walk back today how much I notice the fragrance, or when I get to my nan's, just before I get there, how strong it still is after a little bit of a walk. So yeah, looking forward to giving this one a review. I'll just very, very quickly go through the note breakdown. Obviously, I've mentioned quite a few of the notes that are in it already. So yeah, quickly get onto that one. As I'm sitting by my computer, this makes it a lot easier to get the full note breakdown. So the top notes, the opening of this, is grapefruit and bergamot. So let's give it a little spray. And it says the grapefruit's got a bright, juicy citrus sparkle. What I really get is juicy. This is really, really juicy, and it's got to be that grapefruit. Now, they've done a couple of releases, Lush, before. One called Peaches that is still around, another one called Passion, which is like a passion fruit fragrance. It's very similar to this. It's that really nice, ripe, juicy fruit that you almost just want to eat into. It's delicious, and I think the bergamot is also supplementing that, a sweet, uplifting citrus nuance, but I don't get this sparkle that it's on about particularly. It's very nice. But then we go into the heart, the middle of this fragrance. And this is where obviously the marigold or the Cempasúchil is prominent. So it's warm floral, lightly green floral. See, I don't get that. I get this nice, really like pink, fruity smell for me rather than green. But you're definitely getting that floral component. It's really, really sweet, really uplifting. And sorry, I keep smelling it. It is quite addictive. It's a very addictive scent. Much more youthful, much more juvenile. We'll talk about that a bit later on. But it's delicious. It is like that really lovely ripe fruit you just want to bite into. Delicious, real gourmand here, and yeah, relaxing, very relaxing at the same time. Now, if we look at the base, we've got benzoin, sweet resinous, slightly balsamic warmth, and then patchouli, subtle, it says in brackets, base depth and earthy herminess. I don't get the patchouli in this. If someone said patchouli was in it, I would have said, no, I don't believe you. So don't worry about this. If you don't like that patchouli, earthy, dark vibe, it's not dark at all. And the sweet resinous thing from the benzoin more. Benzoin, I think more with caramel type scents. And again, maybe that's just supplementing that sweetness. Maybe that's taking a little bit of that sharp citrus edge off things like bergamot, off things like grapefruit, which can be quite sharp and quite sour at times. And I wonder if the benzoin's just done that. It's just sweetened it out. Because when you think of like a phrase like sticky dates, again, it smooths off that caramel vibe. And yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Actually, that note breakdown, it's not what I expect, but when you look at the overall vibe, it does say it's a fresh and citrusy upfront with sparkling fruitiness, floral herbaceous middle, and a warm resinous finish. Don't really get that myself. I think if you just like summer fruity fragrances, just think of it as that. It's a very, very ripe summer fruity fragrance. But let's head out there and we'll talk about this fragrance in a little bit more detail. Wow, it is very, very windy, so apologies if you can't hear me. But price / value for money for Cempasuchil, well, it's currently sold out at the minute on their website. That's because it was 50% off. And there is some people that say it was a limited edition scent, so it may not come back straight away. But it's £28 normally for the 200ml, and that's in line with the prices you'd pay for Sticky 8 and most for Lush body sprays. That seems to be their standard price. Do I think that's good value for money for this one? do you know, I really do. I really, really do. Because what it is, and I can't explain it, and there's not many fragrances that do this for me, but it just puts you in a good mood. I almost feel like I've got a smile on, because I don't know if it's because it reminds you of summer, or it's just that nice juicy fruitiness that you just can't feel miserable with it. If I'm in a bad mood, I wouldn't reach for this, but it's calming, it's approachable, it's just something likeable. If you had to define it and turn it into a person, it's that likeable person that, yeah, it's just well put together, and you almost want to be them. You're a little bit envious of them, but you just can't hate them. And that's what I feel this scent is. I don't think you can hate this one, and I think it's got that quality about it. Again, it's very simple, but that's what Lush are. They do simple well. I need a buzzer because I say that all the time, but it is, and it really is. And look, when they got rid of Passion, I was absolutely gutted. They've brought that back out as a shower gel. This has replaced that one for me. They've really replicated the scent here, and yeah, I like it. I really like it. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Look, are there more complex scents that are around this price? If you're someone who's really, really into fragrances, is it as complex as like a Bentley for Men Intense, or a Calvin Klein Obsession, or, Bentley Absolute even? No, it's not. It hasn't got that depth and complexity. But sometimes we're not looking for that, and I would more than happy pay £28 for what this is, an uplifting scent. And if it changes your mood in a positive way, how can you not want to pay that price? So yeah, absolutely fine for me, 8.5 out of 10. Okay then, so on to versatility for Cempasuchil. How much can you dress from down? Different ages, different occasions, different seasons, all those things. Well, look, it's clearly more of a summer scent. Said how uplifting it is and how much it improves your mood. It reminds you of the summer, sitting there with a fruit punch. But that fruitiness is so sweet and so strong, particularly in that opening, that I think it will cut through the cold. I think it's got enough sweetness about it to do that for those occasions where you think, I just want something on that frosty morning to put on that's a bit more uplifting. I think this does it absolutely fine. Look, it's definitely got more of a youthful vibe about it, and I think it's more of a feminine type vibe. But the quality of the Lush oils, again, are so good that if you're a woman in their 40s, 50s, I still think you're going to enjoy it. I think an older gentleman with a suit and tie probably won't so much. I don't think this is one you'd certainly put on with a blazer, or you'd wear for anything too formal, too serious. But that's not what this is meant to be. But it has got that signature scent potential. No two ways about it. This is a signature scent for people to like. If you've got a smell, this, again, I go back to it, people will like this. If you wear this around people, they will feel happy as well. And I think for that reason, you could definitely rock it in transition seasons. I don't particularly get the green nuances, but the floral components I always think are great in transition seasons. It's too heavy for the gym, but for casual, everyday wear, hot or cold day, I think it's great. And I think that means it's pretty versatile. I never think it's going to be too wrong in any situation. So for that reason, we'll give it another 8.5. Look, it started raining a minute ago, and I hate the rain. I'm mentioning it in my videos all the time, but I still feel in a good mood with this one. So it's obviously doing something right. So we'll give versatility an 8.5 out of 10. Apologies for all the cars going by. It's just that time of day. I don't normally like doing videos of this one, but again, I had to review this because otherwise my brother will find out and he'll be mad. So let's go on to projection. How much am I noticing the fragrance? Well, you've probably noticed it's also quite windy outside, so I'm trying to talk a little bit louder. It's really blowing. So I sprayed it on my hoodie. I didn't spray it on my coat. It's really kicking off my hoodie at the moment. It is strong. If you want something, particularly for those first 2 hours, to follow you, if someone walked by me now, I think they'd smell it in the trail. I think that's going to be where it does really well. But if you're sitting in an office, someone's next to you and you sprayed this 5 to 10 times, they're going to notice it. There's no way, whether they mention it or not, they are going to notice it. You don't have to look for this one. I'm not reaching for it at all, and you just get wafts of it every so often as well. Look, whether that fruitiness will last, obviously we'll talk about longevity later, whether that would really last throughout the whole day, I'm not sure. But if you put this on in the morning, you worked up to your lunch break, you put it on again in the afternoon, you're going to have projection where I think almost every day you wear this, someone will mention it. And it doesn't sting your nostrils. It's not one where I think, look, you don't want to overspray it just for yourself especially, but it's not one where I go, if I overspray it, I'm actually going to hate it. I don't feel like that with this one. I feel like it is just such a nice juiciness about it where it's not divisive. That's all I can say. It's not divisive, but yeah, obviously be a little bit careful with your spray because the projection is good if you're in like a small office. But other than that, wear this at home under a blanket, whatever. A few sprays before bed, I'd happily do it. I really would. So yeah, I'm going to say projection 9.5 out of 10. It's very good. It's very, very good, and it's reminiscent of a lot of the Lush body sprays. A little bit quieter here anyway. So compliment factor, do I think Cempasuchil is a compliment getting fragrance? Absolutely. It's so likeable, and again, you can wear it in most situations, but the only but here is when I think of compliment getting fragrance, when I think of that as a genre, I'm thinking of something that's a bit more seductive and alluring, and that's not what this is. This is that everyday likeable scent. It's almost a scent that puts you in a friend zone rather than, you know, future husband or wife to be. But the notes in it are very much unisex for me, so you're going to be approachable for a lot of people, and you can wear it in most situations. But if you want it to date nights or dress up situations, that's not what this is, and I don't think you're going to get compliments in the same way for that one. So yeah, look, personally I'd want something more caramel, more leather, more boozy for those situations. But if you want something for everyday compliments, maybe good comments, not great comments, this is the one. So that's the only thing I can really mark it down on. For that reason, we'll give it an 8.5. Again, unisex, approachable, all ages can rock this if they really want to. And yeah, for that reason, I think it's going to work for a lot of people in the compliment getting range. I am nearly at my nan's now, so it's been about 45 minutes. What do I think about longevity? Just from experience and obviously from this walk, well, I am getting quite warm now, I must admit. I think this is where it's going to fall down a tiny bit for me. I've had this with Lush before. A lot of the time I find their scents are much better for projection than longevity. You know, particularly if I've had a shower or anything, but I think you'll get about 4 to 5 hours of this being really strong, and then after that you probably won't particularly notice it. Now for most people that's going to be enough, but if you're someone who wants a bit more that's going to get them through the day, or more importantly through the night, this isn't it. I think I'd definitely lean more towards Sticky Dates or a Yognog, a bit more of a darker, more caramel type fragrance, because I think fruity notes in a lot of scents, they're very strong in the opening, but then they wear out quite quickly. And I think this would probably do the same. I think 2 to 3 hours it will certainly be strong. You might be the only one that notices it for those, you know, hour 4 to 5, and then I think for the rest of the day it'll probably disappear. But I think that's more than good enough for a £28 more summer-based fragrance where we know performance isn't great. I love Aqua de Palmas, but I know for a fact their performance lets them down at times because they're eau de colognes, even if the citrus is amazing. So yeah, we'll mark it down a little bit for that. We'll give it a 7 out of 10, but again, that's par. It's nothing. I'm not knocking it down. It's more than enough for what it should be. There we are. That is everything for today. So, what was the total score for Cempasuchil? What did he get overall based on the 5 categories? 42 out of 50. I mean, that is a fantastic score, and I think I can safely say if you're someone who really likes juicy, fruity type fragrances that are quite simplistic in their appearance, but they're just uplifting and likeable, I can safely say you're going to like this one. This one is going to be great, and I think this is the time to get it. Now we're in that March, April time where spring's coming and the trees are blossoming a little bit, and the weather's hopefully going to get a little bit nicer than it is at the moment, where the wind's taking my breath away. Then yeah, I think this is brilliant. I think this will certainly work really well through spring, summer and fall. And for £28 for a fragrance that can do that and can ultimately change your mood, honestly, it really is an uplifting fragrance. I can't think of many more that make me feel much happier after applying it than this one. You can wear it at home, you can wear it casually with friends, you can wear it however you want. It could be your fragrance of the year. I think it's that good. I really like it, I'm really enjoying it. And I'm very envious my brother's got it and I don't, and it is a great scent. Again, I'm someone who's tried a lot of fragrances and certainly a lot more complex ones than this, but this one's just got something about it that makes you want to keep sniffing it, and you saw that when I was doing my intro today. I just could not stop sniffing it, and that's just because it puts you in a good mood. It's a great scent, lovely juicy fruitiness. And yeah, one I definitely recommend if it becomes available again, but trust me, you're going to need to beat me to it because I'll be buying it straight when it's back again. Thank you very much for watching today. I'll catch you later.